from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, April 22nd. So, of course, we had the moon in Taurus for the last couple of days, really helping us to ground out, welcoming in, of course, Taurus season and Mercury retrograde. We're still very much in this eclipse energy. We're still very unstable in a lot of ways. There are a lot of things happening all at once. We're processing things at a very accelerated rate. And that's why everything kind of feels like a dream state, kind of surreal, very overwhelming at times. We do have the moon shifting into Gemini energy here today, which is definitely going to bring a major focus to our mental plane that, of course, is shutting down with Mercury's retrograde in order for our intuition to lead. We are going to have a very interesting day with new thoughts, new ideas, new perspectives. And of course, in this Taurus energy, we are trying to stay as present as possible, really orienting ourselves to what makes us happy, what brings us joy, what makes our physical bodies feel better, and recognizing the elements in our lives that aren't contributing to our overall stability, our overall safety and security, not only in our physical realms, but in our emotional and mental realms as well. We will have the moon lock into this Gemini energy at 6:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It does bring a lot of curiosity. It does bring us out of our shells a little bit. We are a little bit more open and social. And there is a lot of interest right now on relationship dynamics because, of course, we are in Taurus season. We have a lot to review, seeing that we're in a retrograde. And we have a lot of unexpected events taking place because of eclipse season. So there are 9 different aspects here today, and 8 of them involve the moon. While the moon is still in Taurus energy, while void, of course, we are going to have a semi-square with Mars. Now, the semi-square is a little bit of a tension point, a little bit of a conflict. And with Mars, who rules over our physical energy, our action, our passion, our desire, even our anger, we're definitely feeling a little bit frustrated. Why? Because things aren't moving the way that we thought that they would move. We aren't seeing the kind of progress that we thought we would see by now. And again, if you haven't listened to the Taurus season astro forecast or the Mercury retrograde astro forecast, I'm going to recommend you do that because we're kind of in uncharted territory here under this Taurus season. Just because of eclipse energy and retrograde energy, we really don't know what to expect. In a state where we should be planning, strategizing for the future, all of a sudden we have to look back in order to kind of move forward, the whole back to the future vibe. So the moon semi-squaring with Mars is kind of illuminating for us where it is that we're feeling a little bit of frustration. Not being able to move forward like we would like, not being able to make the kind of progress that we would like, and of course, really getting down to the nitty-gritty on where it is that our energy, our action, our attention is absolutely needed. So we shift into that Gemini energy, 6:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just about a half hour later, we're going to have the moon, now in Gemini energy, trining with Pluto, who of course is in Aquarian energy. This is what gives us our trine. We get some air on air action here, which means that we're all up in the mental plane. We're trying to look at different perspectives. We're trying to act as the observer to see what it is that we have to get rid of, what it is that we have to destroy in our lives in order for us to have a clean slate to build something new in its place. Of course, Pluto is the great transformer himself. He likes to do a deep dive in our psyche, really kind of examine where some of the holdup are, where some of the self-sabotages are, where the control issues are, and what it is that we're having a hard time letting go of. Because the moon is in Gemini energy, we do have a curiosity. We are picking things apart. We're trying to see both sides of the coin, and the Aquarian energy that Pluto is in is providing us with a observer type of mentality so that we can see where it is that new changes can be made, where we can improve things, where it is that we can make some progress in the planning and strategizing of what needs to stay and what needs to go. The moon will then semi-square with Chiron, the wounded healer. This is a little bit of a tension point, a little bit of a conflict, because we have a lot of negative narratives that are going to come up for us now, really kind of showing us where it is that we're blocking our own progress, where we're not as encouraging and supportive to ourselves that we kind of need to be. This is showing us where it is that we're actually limiting our own growth. Or we're limiting the ability to heal, to progress, to actually move forward, to reinvent ourselves. And because we are kind of moving away from the old and the new hasn't quite anchored in yet, we're in this really questionable, awkward adjustment period where we're really picking things apart. Now, the moon will go ahead and interact with the sun in such a way that does provide us with a little bit of a crossroads point, a decision point, a choice point. We are definitely seeing where, when looking back, things are anchoring us into habits, into behaviors that we're having a hard time busting out of. The sun, of course, now in Taurus energy, is shining a bright light on what it is that we have to build, what we have to create, what we have to maintain as far as our routines, relationships, and our resources are concerned. There is an illumination when the moon and the sun come together on what it is that we want to move forward and pursue versus what it is that we're overly attached to as far as the past goes. So what we're left with is this present moment, seeing where it is that we have to shift our emotions, shift our mental plane, because of course the moon is in Gemini, and really orient ourselves to where it is that we want to take action, moving forward and bringing things to life. Again, sun in Taurus energy. The moon will then interact with the north node, or the true node, if you will. And of course, this is in Taurus energy as well. So what we're having here is a little bit of a reflection point over the plans, over the strategies that we thought we had, the plans that we thought we were going to actually execute and moving forward. Well, now eclipse season is throwing things at us, revealing things that we didn't see previously. Retrograde season is having us look back, reflect, redo, revisit, revise, rework, reorganize, restructure. And so instead of thinking about our plans and moving forward, suddenly we have to stop and take a look at what it is that we have been doing, what it is that we could be doing better, and where it is that some changes need to be made for the overall plan in actually making progress to create something new, to aspire to new plans, to goals, to visions, and to actually go after what it is that we want. The moon will then square off, again, getting in the boxing ring, creating a whole lot of tension, a whole lot of conflict with Saturn, Mr. Karma himself. Now, Mr. Saturn rules over foundations and structures and roles and responsibilities, and the moon being in this Gemini energy definitely has a lot of questions. And because we're kind of entering into the boxing ring here, emotionally speaking, we're feeling the weight of the world on our shoulders at this time. Why? Well, because things are changing. Things are pushing us into a new direction that we haven't been able to identify yet. Things are putting us in a situation where we are bossing up to new roles and responsibilities, but we definitely don't feel good, don't feel solid about it. And of course, with Saturn being in Pisces energy, a water energy, it's pretty hard to feel solid in something that is so fluid with ever-changing, let's say, thoughts and emotions and plans and ideas. It's really hard to build a brand new foundation and structure. The moon will then go ahead and make a very positive interaction with Neptune, who, of course, is in its place of power in Pisces energy. So this particular vibe is kind of bringing the dreams back, the imagination back. We're moving into a creative place in our heart space, in our head space. That Neptune energy, very representative of our dreams, of our intuition, of our creativity. This is a positive interaction. I love Gemini energy and Pisces energy working together because it means that we're able to bring some of our ideas and inspirations, those aha moments and epiphanies that we receive from the higher forms of intelligence, into the lower level intellect, where that Gemini energy can apply logic and practicality to it. This is the first step of being able to figure out what it is that we actually want for ourselves and how it is that we are going to conjure up a plan to actually bring it to life. The sun in Taurus energy goes ahead and makes a positive interaction with Mars. Mars, of course, is in Cancer energy. This is definitely going to illuminate for us new creative ideas, new inspirations, new wants, new needs, new desires. And because we are in Taurus season and we are really being positioned to contemplate what it is that we want in our lives to make us feel good, to make us feel happy, to bring joy and pleasure to our realms, to bring safety, security, stability to our lives, we really are tapping into a new level of inspiration, of motivation to come up with a plan and actually go after what it is that we want. Because we're in retrograde season, though, we do have to kind of take a look back at what it is that we have brought to life, what it is that we have chosen for ourselves, what it is that we have created, figure out whether or not that's still in alignment, whether it's supporting us, encouraging us, or whether or not we actually want to override those particular elements and build something new in its place. The last aspect that we have here today is the moon in Gemini, semi-squaring a little bit of a tension point with Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings. And of course, in this Aries energy, just wants to focus on the opportunities that we should be out in the world creating for ourselves. Well, this is a semi-square, so this is really putting a little bit of a block in our emotions, in our mental plane. We're not feeling as bold and brave and courageous as we would have to be to go out in the world and create something new for ourselves. We're not feeling as confident and as optimistic as we would hope to feel in the pursuit of new passions and desires. And so this particular element is definitely magnifying for us where it is that we're not feeling so hot. We're not feeling so good about it. We are, again, not as eager to push ourselves forward to create something new, and now really questioning whether or not we're still in alignment with those particular dreams and visions. And again, all thanks to the fact that Mercury has gone retrograde, pushing us to look back, to reflect, to review, to see what it is that we want to spice up, what it is that we want to change, and really just kind of examining how quickly our ideas, our thoughts, and our emotions have changed.